Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is staring at their phone at 3 a.m., typing a question into Google that they'll delete before hitting enter. They want answers, but they're terrified of what those answers might mean about their life, their pain, and their future. If you've been carrying questions that feel too heavy to speak out loud, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into the 8 questions that trauma survivors whisper to themselves, but rarely dare to ask anyone else. These aren't just questions. They're the silent struggles that keep you awake at night, the doubts that creep in during quiet moments, and the fears that make healing feel impossible. By the end of this video, you'll not only have answers, but you'll understand why asking these questions is actually the first step toward freedom. Question 1. Am I making this up or exaggerating what happened to me? This question haunts more trauma survivors than you might think. Your mind becomes your worst enemy, constantly questioning the validity of your own experiences. One day you feel the weight of what happened, and the next day you're wondering if you're just being dramatic. Here's what's really happening. Trauma doesn't always look like what we see in movies. It doesn't need to be the most extreme situation imaginable to be real and valid. Your nervous system doesn't lie. If your body is reacting, if you're having flashbacks, if certain situations make you freeze up, that's your truth speaking. The cruel irony is that questioning your trauma often means it was real. People who make things up don't usually spend sleepless nights wondering if they're making it up. Your doubt isn't proof that nothing happened. It's proof that you're human, trying to make sense of something that shouldn't have happened to you. Question 2. Why can't I just get over it like everyone expects me to? Society has this dangerous obsession with timeline. It's been 2 years, shouldn't you be over it by now? Other people have been through worse and they're fine. These words cut deeper than any physical wound because they make you feel broken for not healing on someone else's schedule. Trauma isn't a broken bone that heals in 6 weeks. It's more like learning to live with a completely different operating system in your brain. Your neural pathways have been rewired for survival, not for convenience or other people's comfort. The people who say these things have never had their sense of safety shattered. They've never had to rebuild their understanding of the world from the ground up. Your healing journey isn't slow, it's thorough, and thorough takes time. Question 3. Will I ever feel normal again? Or is this just who I am now? This question strikes at the core of every survivor's identity crisis. You remember who you were before, and you can't recognize who you are now. The person looking back at you in the mirror feels like a stranger wearing your face. The truth is both comforting and challenging. You won't go back to exactly who you were before, but you're not stuck as who you are right now either. Trauma changes you, but it doesn't have to define you. Think of it like this. A tree that survives a storm doesn't look exactly the same, but it can grow stronger roots and more resilient branches. You're not broken beyond repair. You're under construction. And sometimes the most beautiful buildings take the longest to complete. Question 4. Why do I feel guilty for what someone else did to me? Guilt after trauma is one of the most confusing emotions you'll face. Logic tells you that you're not responsible for what happened, but your heart carries this heavy weight of, what if I had done something different? This guilt serves a twisted purpose in your mind. It gives you a sense of control over something that was completely out of your control. If you can blame yourself, then maybe you can prevent it from happening again. It's your brain's desperate attempt to make sense of the senseless. But carrying someone else's guilt is like wearing a coat that was never meant for your shoulders. It's too heavy, it doesn't fit right, and it was never yours to wear in the first place. The person who hurt you, they own that guilt, not you. Question 5. Is it normal that I don't remember everything clearly? Memory after trauma is like trying to recall a movie you watched during an earthquake. Some scenes are crystal clear, others are completely missing, and some feel like they happened to someone else entirely. This isn't your mind playing tricks on you, it's your mind protecting you. During traumatic events, your brain prioritizes survival over memory formation. Parts of your brain literally shut down to help you get through the moment. This is why you might remember exactly what song was playing, but not how you got home, or why you can recall every detail of someone's face, but nothing about what they said. These memory gaps don't make your experience less real. They make it more real because they show just how much your system was overwhelmed in that moment. Question 6. Why do I push away the people who try to help me? Love feels dangerous when you've been hurt. The closer someone gets, the more vulnerable you become. And vulnerability feels like standing naked in a thunderstorm. So you push them away before they can leave, reject them before they can reject you. It's not that you don't want connection. You're starving for it. But your nervous system has learned that people can hurt you in ways that leave invisible scars. So it throws up walls, creates distance, and sabotages relationships to keep you safe. The people who truly love you will understand that your walls aren't about them. They're about survival. And they'll be patient while you learn to trust again, one small step at a time. Question 7. Am I capable of having healthy relationships after what I've been through? This question cuts to the deepest fear. That trauma has made you unlovable, that you're too damaged to deserve genuine connection. You look at other couples and wonder if you'll ever be able to love without fear, trust without doubt, or be intimate without flashback. The answer is yes, but it requires patience with yourself and often professional support. Healthy relationships after trauma aren't impossible. They're just different. They require more communication, more boundaries, and more understanding from both people. You haven't been ruined for love. You've been educated in what real love actually looks like. And it's not someone who hurts you. That education, as painful as it was, can actually make you a more conscious, more intentional partner. Question 8. Will I ever stop being afraid? Fear becomes your constant companion after trauma. It's there when you walk to your car at night, when someone raises their voice, when you hear footsteps behind you. You wonder if you'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, jumping at shadows that aren't really there. The fear may never completely disappear, but it will transform. It will go from being a prison to being information. You'll learn to distinguish between real danger and trauma responses. You'll develop tools to calm your nervous system and ground yourself in the present moment. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your protector working overtime. The goal isn't to eliminate it completely, but to teach it when it's needed and when it can rest. These 8 questions aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of a mind trying to heal itself. Every trauma survivor who has ever found peace on the other side has asked these same questions. You're not alone in your wondering, and you're not alone in your healing. Remember, asking these questions isn't the problem. Staying silent about them is. When you give voice to these fears, you take away their power to control you in the darkness. You deserve answers. You deserve healing. And you deserve a life that isn't defined by what someone else did to you. The road ahead isn't easy, but it's possible, and you're stronger than you know. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button. It helps me reach other people who might need to hear these words. And don't forget to subscribe for more content about mental health, healing, and finding your way back to yourself. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these questions hit closest to home for you? Sometimes just naming what we're struggling with can be the first step toward healing. Your story matters, and sharing it might help someone else feel less alone. Speaking of feeling less alone, if you haven't watched my previous video about the 7 truths about loneliness that nobody talks about, I highly recommend checking it out. Loneliness and trauma often go hand in hand, and understanding both can be incredibly powerful for your healing journey. Remember, you're not broken, you're human. And being human means you're capable of healing, growing, and creating a life that trauma can't touch.